In the heart of Provence, France, where lavender fields stretched as far as the eye could see and charming villages dotted the landscape, lay the small town of Saint-Rémy. Known for its artistic heritage and stunning scenery, Saint-Rémy had been home to many great artists, including Vincent van Gogh. The town's enchanting atmosphere seemed to inspire creativity in all who visited. Clara, a talented but struggling painter from London, decided to escape the city's hustle and bustle and immerse herself in the tranquility of Saint-Rémy. She rented a small cottage on the outskirts of the town, with a view of the rolling hills and the distant Alps. The cottage had a rustic charm with ivy-covered walls and a garden overflowing with wildflowers. Clara arrived in Saint-Rémy on a crisp autumn afternoon, the air fragrant with the scent of lavender and pine. She felt an immediate sense of peace as she stepped out of her car and breathed in the fresh countryside air. The town's cobblestone streets, lined with quaint shops and cafes, seemed like something out of a fairy tale. Her first few days were spent settling into the cottage and exploring the town. She visited the local market, where she marveled at the vibrant displays of fruits, vegetables, and flowers. She wandered through art galleries, inspired by the works of local artists, and found herself drawn to the fields and vineyards that surrounded the town. One morning, as Clara was setting up her easel by a particularly picturesque lavender field, she noticed a figure in the distance. A man was painting at the edge of the field, his canvas propped against an old wooden fence. Curious, Clara approached him, her footsteps light on the soft earth. The man turned as she neared, revealing a handsome face framed by tousled brown hair and piercing green eyes. He smiled warmly, his gaze flicking to her easel and back. "Bonjour," he greeted her. "Are you here to capture the beauty of Provence as well?" "Bonjour," Clara replied, returning his smile. "Yes, I am. The scenery here is breathtaking. I'm Clara, by the way." "Étienne," he said, extending a paint-streaked hand. "It's a pleasure to meet you, Clara." They shook hands, and Clara felt a spark of connection. Étienne was a local artist, born and raised in Saint-Rémy. He had an easygoing demeanor and a passion for painting that matched her own. They spent the day painting side by side, sharing techniques and stories about their lives. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the lavender fields, Étienne invited Clara to join him for dinner at a nearby cafe. They walked together through the town, the cobblestones echoing under their feet, and found a cozy table on the cafe's terrace. Over a delicious meal of Provençal cuisine, they talked late into the night. Clara learned that Étienne had inherited his love of art from his mother, a renowned painter who had passed away several years earlier. He had dedicated his life to preserving her legacy and finding his own artistic voice. Clara shared her own story, of growing up in London and studying art, of the struggles she faced in a competitive industry, and of her decision to seek inspiration in Saint-Rémy. They discovered a shared love for Impressionism and a mutual admiration for each other's work. As the night wore on, Clara felt an undeniable attraction to Étienne. His passion for art, his gentle nature, and his deep connection to the land captivated her, and she sensed that he felt the same way. Their friendship deepened over the following weeks. They explored the countryside together, finding hidden spots to paint and sketch. Étienne introduced Clara to the locals, who welcomed her with open arms. They spent long hours in each other's company, their conversations flowing effortlessly. One chilly evening, Étienne invited Clara to his home, a charming stone cottage nestled among olive trees. The interior was warm and inviting, filled with paintings and sketches, many of which were Étienne's own creations. A roaring fire crackled in the hearth, casting a cozy glow over the room. They settled on a comfortable sofa, sipping hot cocoa and talking about their dreams and aspirations. Étienne showed Clara some of his mother's work, and she was struck by the emotional depth and beauty of the paintings. "Your mother was incredibly talented," Clara said softly, her eyes lingering on a particularly striking portrait. Étienne nodded, his expression contemplative. "She was my greatest inspiration. I always hoped to make her proud." "You have," Clara assured him. "Your work is amazing, Étienne. You have a gift." Their eyes met, and Clara felt a surge of emotion. Without thinking, she leaned in and kissed him. The kiss was gentle and tender, filled with the promise of something more. Étienne responded, his arms wrapping around her and pulling her closer. When they finally pulled away, they were both breathless. Étienne rested his forehead against hers, his voice a whisper. "Clara, I feel like I've known you forever. You inspire me in ways I can't even explain." Clara's heart swelled with happiness. "I feel the same way, Étienne. Being here with you has been like a dream." Their relationship blossomed into a beautiful romance. They spent their days painting, exploring, and sharing their love for art and each other. Clara's creativity flourished in the inspiring surroundings, and Étienne found new depths to his own work. As winter approached, the landscape transformed into a wonderland of snow-capped hills and frost-kissed trees. Clara and Étienne embraced the season, finding beauty in the changing scenery. They painted winter scenes, capturing the serene stillness and the play of light on snow. One snowy afternoon, as they walked hand in hand through the village, Étienne led Clara to a small, centuries-old chapel at the edge of town. The chapel, with its ivy-clad walls and stained glass windows, exuded a timeless charm. Inside, the air was cool and peaceful. They sat together on an old wooden pew, and Étienne took Clara's hands in his. "Clara," he began, his voice filled with emotion, "these past few months have been the happiest of my life. You've brought so much joy and inspiration into my world." Tears welled up in Clara's eyes as she listened to his heartfelt words. "Étienne, you've made me feel more alive than I ever thought possible. I love you." "I love you too," Étienne replied, his eyes shining with sincerity. "And I want to spend the rest of my life with you." With that, he reached into his coat pocket and pulled out a small velvet box. Clara gasped as he opened it to reveal a beautiful antique ring. "Clara, will you marry me?" Overwhelmed with happiness, Clara nodded, her voice choked with emotion. "Yes, Étienne, 1,000 times yes." They kissed, sealing their promise to each other in the sacred space of the chapel. Their love was a testament to the power of following one's heart and finding beauty in the simplest of moments. Their wedding was a celebration of love, art, and community. The entire village of Saint-Rémy came together to celebrate the union of the two artists. The ceremony took place in the chapel where Étienne had proposed, and the reception was held in a charming vineyard with twinkling lights and tables adorned with fresh flowers. As they danced under the stars, Clara felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude. She had found her true love in the most unexpected of places, and together they had created a life filled with beauty and inspiration. Years passed, and Clara and Étienne's love only grew stronger. They built a family, welcoming two beautiful children into their lives. Their home was always filled with laughter, creativity, and the scent of fresh paint. They continued to paint and create, their art evolving with their experiences and emotions. Clara and Étienne's work gained recognition far and wide, and they held joint exhibitions that drew art lovers from all over the world. Their love story, captured in their paintings, became an inspiration to many. One summer evening, as they sat on the terrace of their cottage, watching the sun set over the lavender fields, Étienne took Clara's hand and smiled. "Thank you for coming to Saint-Rémy, Clara. You've made my life complete." Clara leaned into him, her heart full of love. "And thank you, Étienne, for showing me the true meaning of love and for being my muse." As the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, Clara and Étienne knew that their love story was far from over. It was a story that would live on in their art, their family, and the hearts of those who had been touched by their love. Their children grew up surrounded by love, creativity, and the beauty of Provence. They inherited their parents' passion for art and followed in their footsteps, becoming talented artists in their own right. Clara and Étienne's home remained a place of inspiration, where new generations of artists found encouragement and guidance. One autumn day, as Clara and Étienne walked through the village hand in hand, they were greeted by the familiar sights and sounds of Saint-Rémy. The town had changed over the years, but its charm and warmth remained. They visited the market, where the vibrant displays of produce and flowers brought back fond memories of their early days together. As they strolled through the cobblestone streets, they came upon a group of young artists painting en plein air, capturing the beauty of the town just as they had done so many years before. Clara and Étienne smiled, their hearts swelling with pride and nostalgia. They continued their walk to the old chapel, now a cherished landmark in the village. Inside, they found a sense of peace and reverence. Étienne took Clara's hand and led her to the same pew where he had proposed all those years ago. "Clara," he said softly, "every moment with you has been a gift. Our love has been a journey, and I am grateful for every step we've taken together." Clara's eyes filled with tears as she squeezed his hand. "I feel the same way, Étienne. You've been my rock, my inspiration, and my greatest love." They sat in silence for a moment, savoring the depth of their connection and the richness of their shared experiences. As they left the chapel, they felt a renewed sense of purpose and joy. Back at their cottage, Clara and Étienne spent the evening painting together, their canvases side by side. The rhythmic strokes of their brushes and the vibrant colors of their paints filled the room with a sense of harmony and creativity. Their love had weathered many seasons, and it had only grown stronger with time. They had built a life filled with passion, art, and unwavering devotion. Their journey together had been a masterpiece, painted with the colors of love, trust, and shared dreams. As the years went by, Clara and Étienne continued to inspire each other and those around them. They never stopped exploring, creating, and finding beauty in the world. Their love story was a testament to the power of following one's heart and the magic that could be found in the simplest of moments. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the lavender fields, Clara and Étienne sat on the terrace, their hands intertwined. The scent of blooming flowers filled the air, and the distant sound of church bells echoed through the valley. Étienne turned to Clara, his eyes filled with love and gratitude. "Clara, thank you for being my muse, my partner, and my greatest love. Our journey together has been more beautiful than I ever imagined." Clara smiled, her heart overflowing with joy. "And thank you, Étienne, for showing me the true meaning of love and for sharing this incredible journey with me." As the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, Clara and Étienne knew that their love story would continue to inspire and endure. It was a story that had been written with the brushstrokes of their hearts, and it would live on in their art, their family, and the hearts of those who had been touched by their love. And so, in the heart of Provence, under the timeless sky, Clara and Étienne's love story continued to unfold, a masterpiece of passion, creativity, and enduring devotion.